Now, the final stage of the inquiry into the contaminated blood scandal got underway this morning, with a barrister saying the government had degraded victims and their families by the way they'd been treated. Among those who died after being given blood products infected with HIV and hepatitis were pupils at Trelaws College in North Hampshire. Well, Steve Humphreys watched the start of the closing submissions. And Steve, the inquiry's heard some heartbreaking evidence, hasn't it?
Yes, the public inquiry into the infected blood scandal began back in 2019 and is, as you say now, in its final stages. At the heart of the tragedy is the decision back in the 1970s and 1980s to give haemophiliacs and other people with bleeding disorders some blood products imported from the United States. It was later discovered that they were infected with HIV and hepatitis. Amongst those who were caught up in the tragedy were pupils at Trelaws College in Alton. It's a specialist school for youngsters with disabilities. At least 72 people who attended the college died after being given contaminated blood products. A number of people were also infected while being treated at the Oxford Haemophilia Centre. Now, across the UK, it's believed up to 3,000 people died after being given blood containing HIV and hepatitis. Now, today, barrister Stephen Snowden, who represents over 1,000 victims, told the public inquiry that the tragedy was entirely preventable.
Thousands of men, women and children have died or have had the trajectory of their lives unavoidably altered for the worse. Families have been shattered. This was brutal, unacceptable, unforgivable and unnecessary travesty visited upon patients in the grossest breach of medical trust imaginable, with truly devastating consequences.
Mr. Snowden said that the tragedy happened because of failures by pharmaceutical companies, doctors and the government.
We say this preventable catastrophe arose from the combination of pharmaceutical companies' greed and unsafe practices, the skipping of known safety steps for blood products, insufficient regulation, foresight and planning by government.
Now, last year, the government announced that around 4,000 victims would get interim compensation of £100,000 each. The inquiry is expected to deliver its conclusions and recommendations later this year.
Steve Humphrey, thank you.